video we're going to make our hope book. Now I didn't tape where I cut the chipboard into pieces and measured it, etc., but I have included measurements in the class section up above, so just check under requirements and you will see that I have included a little paragraph there with some information, so you might want to write that down and take note of it. All I did was I started out just adding the three pieces together using my double-sided tape. Now I just want to mention that a little tip would be to just tape the middle two strips where you add the spine to the covers, not all the way to the top and the bottom, so that you can actually have single strips from side to side around your chipboard frame, so that you don't have to do what I'm doing here and you have to lift all of those pieces. It's just one piece that you're going to lift at the corners. Now the reason why I'm just lifting them a little bit is it helps if you don't lift the full double-sided tape all the way, so that if you do placement and you little bit off center, or it's a little bit skew, then you can reposition because it's not already stuck down. So I place it down in the middle until I'm happy it is straight, and then I push it down at the corners where the double-sided tape is already exposed, and then I just strip away those backing strips of the tape. So you'll see me do it a couple of times and then you'll start to get the hang of it. Right, basically what you need to do is take an A4 sheet and cut it into strips so that you can score the strips and fold them, and then adhere the strips to the sides of all around your book cover. And then I basically trimmed down an A4 sheet a little bit because it was a little bit too high, so that it fits onto my whole album cover. Right, and I basically also used just a double-sided tape with the same technique where I only lift the corners a little bit, like about 2-3 centimeters away, just so that you have a grip, and then you'll see me pick it up on those exposed strips and not on the paper, and then hold that kind of in the air until I'm happy, and then I press it down. So you'll see me do that in a moment. So just when you stick down, just make sure that you do this technique, because it's really going to make your life a lot easier. I've had lots of mistakes, and this is the best way I've found to place it. You can see me do it here now. So the moment that it's in place, then you can press down and then take away the backing strips. Right, then just do it for the other side. A little tip, it's very important that when you place your spine in between your front and back cover, that you leave about a 3 to 5 millimeter room, about the thickness of the chipboard that you're going to use, so that your little album cover can bend nicely. If you don't leave enough room and they're too close together, then your paper might split and it might not be as smooth an experience as you would like. So remember, leave that little bit of a space in between the spine and your front and back cover, and then place the two paper strips to adhere everything together. Right, then I had a little template that I used in a previous project just to place the holes for the spine, and as I mentioned earlier, you can do a different or follow a different approach in terms of just binding everything, but I find this a really fun way of doing it, so that you have that experience of freedom of taking out your signatures, working on one signature at a time, which is what I suggest you would do with a 40-day kind of project, where the project spans over weeks and you don't want to work on the whole thing perhaps. But if that works for you and you want to keep everything in place in your book, then you can stick it down. You can do a little scrapbook paper spine and just glue everything down, and have pockets and things and to put your tags in. The idea is just to have a place for your tags that is different than your normal tag book idea. Right, so also another idea for closure for your album, I used eyelets, and you can put twine in there and just have a little closure for the front and the back. I just cut little fabric strips that I created a little knot in the front and then a longer strip at the back to just kind of tie things together. Be creative, try different things, add a button to the back and a little piece of elastic from or a button to the front and a piece of elastic on the back to kind of close it that way. Zurita also, with her album that she's making, she's a little bit ahead of everybody else because she's on my design team, and her album is a little bit bigger, and she used fabric or a ribbon in front and back that she glued down in between the paper layers so that she has that as a closure. But then your signatures, in the next video I will zoom in a little bit on that, but you will see me adding the first signature already. Is basically a little flip file of pockets that the tags can fit into. Right, so just playing with my fabric a little bit. Sometimes it's just good if you're a little bit more tactile and you like touching and feeling different smooth and interesting surfaces, to play with fabric as well and include fabric. So you can even cover your album or your little book, whole book, with fabric. You can gel medium the whole thing if you want to. You can add ephemera pieces and gel medium that on the cover. You can do whatever it is that you like, you can do with this album. You can cover it with plastic if you want to. You can cover it with clear vinyl like I normally do with my travel notebook covers. But this is a fun book to make, and remember that you can do it in any size that you like. You can go as big as you want, you can go even smaller if you want to do that. You can use smaller tags. Remember that with your PDF, I haven't mentioned that thus far, but with a PDF you have the option of shrinking things down a couple of notches, so you can say print at 70%. Stick around for the next video where we're going to talk about signature.